What's up, fam? I want to welcome you guys back to my studio, the storage room. For those who are new and you're like, why are you calling it the storage room? Because it's a literal storage room. It literally is a storage room. So this is my studio, the storage room. And I know you didn't come in here to hear me talk. You wanted to hear some music. So today we're going to be doing the Flip That Hit version of Kendrick Lamar's tune, All Right. When I think of Kendrick Lamar, I think of intent. I think of somebody who's unapologetic. They like, look, this is what I meant to say, and I'm saying it. And so I wanted the arrangement to match that. So we had to have this horn intro, and this is what I came up with. Woo! 2, 3, here we go.
All's my life I has to fight. All's my life hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm up, homie, you up, but if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Woo! So look, hey, you know how I love my bass lines. You know how I love a groove. And so I had to come up with something for this, and just listen to this bass line. And I felt like the bass needed something to just give it a little bit more weight, more exciting. So I was like, okay, just add a piano playing the same exact notes, just in the low register of the piano. So it sounds like this. You hear that timbre, that sound? So you have that. And the cool thing about this off the back, remember what I said, is about intensity. The vibe of the original track, the original song, is like half the. It's not. I'm not saying half the speed, but more of just the pulse is half this, like halftime. So like we're doing, and then the record is more like. So intense, and this is the drum beat with it. With this arrangement, I created a lot of the parts the same way as if we were doing some kind of hip hop songs. Like a lot of times, it's the song is pretty much maybe 4, 8, or 16 bar phrases just throughout the whole song, and you're just taking some out, putting some in, taking some out, that kind of thing, rather than just a lot of different types of scene changes. That's a term I made up. You got to go to the other videos to understand what I'm saying. Those who've been rocking with me for a while know what I mean by that scene change. So here's the chorus of it all.
God got us, then we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And do exactly the same thing again.
Alright, huh? We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And I feel like it's important to point out to you guys that, hey, I just have, as far as horn-wise, just the brass, the trumpets and the trombones, and the bari sax. I don't even have the saxophones in this because I'm like, okay, look, this is the first chorus. I don't want to give it all I got. We got a long way to go within this arrangement. But I feel that it still has that intensity. The bari sax now is adding to the piano and the bass part. You can hear it right here. So then we have the first verse, and y'all know I like the lyrics to be heard. I like, don't get in the way of the lead vocal, because that is the most important part. So what I did was, just like we talked about earlier, with the type of arrangement I'm doing in this, it's like, okay, we keeping pretty much the same parts throughout the whole arrangement, but we're just dropping in and dropping out. And so it's like, let's just drop out the drums for like the first, I don't know, 4 bars, or at least the first 2 bars, and then just have it crescendo back in. And that sounds like this.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. But I'ma stop me looking at you from the face down. One Mac 11, even boom with the face down. Scheming, and let me tell you about my life.
Another drop.
Put me in the twilight. But pretty Benjamin is the highlight.
So you can just hear that it's like, okay, we're just playing the same bass line, same kind of groove, same just the whole time, and we're just adding little stuff like little stops little pauses and stuff, and that's how we're making this interesting. So it's cool to be able to do a lot more than just, oh, I'm gonna write a whole bunch of stuff to give the ear candy, to give the interest, to make people interested in listening to your arrangement. You know, you want to pull from all these different tools. And so that's what I did. I was like, okay, let's just add some stabs, some stops. So like even right before we go to the pre-chorus on this, listen to this. I'm just adding stabs and stops.
Chevy, tell 'em all to come and get me, reaping everything I sow. So my karma come in heaven, no preliminary hearings on my record.
Okay, fun fact, I forgot all about this, but if you look right here, this little box right here, it says drop. I literally added that before doing this video recording. And the only reason I added it is because I was listening to the stuff, making sure everything was good and all that kind of stuff. And like a car drove by and it was like a low, the sound, because it was coming through the walls, it's just a low frequency. And I was like, man, that sounded cool. Because it happened right when I was at this point. I was like, okay, I'm adding that in. So you have like this little drop, what I'm calling the drop. Listen to this. Oops. It's just this. See? You may need headphones on to listen to hear that, but I just thinking it just added a little something. Sometimes you got to add a little something, and it becomes, I don't know, a lot of something. I don't know. I failed on that one. Anyway, let's get back to it. So then we're having, wow. Here's the going into the first pre-chorus.
No preliminary hearings on my record. Can't stand silence for the record. Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone great. Trying to side my faces all day. Won't you please believe when I say what you know? We've been nerfing down before.
Okay, all right, I lied to y'all. I was like, oh, it's just gonna be the same thing the whole way through. No different kind of chord changes, because pretty much the chord changes for this whole tune is A flat minor, G minor. That's the whole thing. But this is why I did this section, and it's not my fault. It's Kendrick's fault. It's Kendrick's fault. Listen to what he's doing.
Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone crazy. Trying to side my faces all day. Won't you please believe?
So you hear like just what he's doing right there, and I'm like, the rhythms that he's using, the melody that he's using, it's just crazy. I have a whole new appreciation for Kendrick, and so he's the one that inspired me to do this part right here, this section, and I accented what he was doing vocally and rhythmically with the saxophone. So the saxophones play this. It's the same, like with him. Listen to him with him doing it.
Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone crazy. Trying to side my faces all day. Won't you please believe?
I mean, who's doing those kind of melodies in this kind of genre? Only Kendrick. Man, this dude is. When we do our live recording, I want him to be here. That's the artist out of all these artists I want to do the recording with, the live recording with, Kendrick. Just so I can hear and feel live him doing that. It's just so crazy to me. Let's move forward.
Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone crazy. Trying to side my faces all day. Won't you please believe when I say what you know? We've been nerfing down before. When our pride was low, looking at the world like where do we go? And we hate po-po. Wanna kill us dead in the street for
Halftime, not to like to the original vibe of the track. I did a little nod to the original vibe of the track by cutting it in halftime, and then we just hit the chorus one more time again. Chorus.
Be all right. We gon' be all right. We gon' be all right. We gon' be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be all right. We gon' be all right. Huh? We gon' be all right. We gon' be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be all right.
Two things I want to point out to you guys on this particular section. This the chorus. Look at this. You see how these are grayed out? These are grayed out. So originally I had the saxophones playing on the first half of this second chorus. And it's like, nah, let me just leave them out, because at least it'll allow it to grow. You know, it's allow just even just these 8 bars just to grow and not just have to be something that's kind of static. And so I feel like that was very effective of just leaving it out. The brass are playing the same things they were playing in the first course, they're playing on this, and now by just having the saxophones sit out for the first, or at least not all the saxophones, the altos and the tenor saxophones sit out, and then they'll enter in on the second half of this chorus. And the second thing I want to point out before I play this again is there's this technique, we'll call it the fanning technique. Let's just call it the fanning technique. I'm making up all these terms. You know, you guys, the scene change I mentioned earlier, the fanning technique. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make up another technique. I'm just making up these terms as I go, just to explain what I'm doing. But anyway, this is the fanning technique. And so I'll just let you listen. This is happening in the saxophones. You see how they're not, all the notes are just not just coming in right on the all together. A lot of times that's usually what will happen, is just you have that chord, play it all together. But I felt like it gave a little bit of ear candy to the listener by just saying this. Okay, we'll fan them out. We'll do it one at a time and hold. So, and then a little bonus thing happens here at the end. You know, I love my bebop, so I'll add a little bebop-ish line in the background, or in the back of this phrase. Here is the whole phrase. Just a little slight bebop. And here's the whole chorus together so you can understand what I'm talking about. The saxophones are out. Second half, the saxophones come in. One other thing that happens before we keep going, there's something that I love to do, and we'll call it the Convo Technique. You know, this is the Convo Technique. And basically, it's when I have like the horn players talking with each other. And most of the times I'll do it with all the horns, where it's the saxophones, the trumpets, and the trombones. This time I only did it with the trumpets and trombones, where they have, if you look, they're talking to each other. Where it's okay, they're talking together, and then it's like, okay, we'll have the trumpets say something, and then the trombones say something, and then they'll say something together. So they kind of like, we're talking the same language. Then it's like, well, what you got to say? I'm saying this. What do you got to say? I'm saying this. And then we come say it together. And so this is what it sounds like. Trumpets say something. Trombone. Now, I also want to point out the coolness of these chords. Let me show you this. Let's start with the trombones. See, like with trombone 2 and 3, it's just regular stuff. They just playing this the whole time. And even if I add trombone 1, it's kind of cool. Yeah, there's a little bit of movement that makes it like a little cool, but it's not until that trombone 4 comes in where he adds the spice. And the same thing I did in the trumpet. So here's trumpet 2 and 3. And add trumpet 1. Okay, we're getting there. But then when we add trumpet 4, I love because it has like those, because of the notes there, it's like distance. Because we have, like, if you look here, they're like half step off of each other. This part together sounds like this. See? So let's see what it would sound like without the what we call the spicy notes. So it'll be trumpets 1, 2, and 3, and trombones 1, 2, and 3. Which sounds great. It sounds wonderful. But it's like, can we add a little spice to that? So here's verse 2. And the same thing what I did with verse 1, I did with verse 2. It's like, I want to make sure that, hey, Kendrick's coming back in. I need y'all to hear him. Listen to him. So here's verse 2.
All right, what you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano,
no horns.
Anything. See, my name is Lucy. Who you call? You can live If I gotta think, know you.
And again, just like in the first verse, the same inspiration that I got from the first verse happened in the second verse. This is Kendrick's fault. This is Kendrick's fault. Listen to this. Listen to what he's doing.
Right. What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres in
That's
the
pretty
middle.
regular.
And I
Pretty
want
regular.
anything. See, my name is Lucy. I'm your dog. Mother, you can live
Listen
at
to
the
this.
mall. I can see the evil. I can tell it. I know it's illegal. I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero. Thinking of my partner. Put the candy painting on a Rico. Digging in my pocket. And a profit. My logic. Get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. Ah!
Woo! I mean, the syncopation, the rhythms, the melodies. And so it's like, okay, we have to come with him. We have to come with him on that journey. And he's like, that's why I wrote this whole thing.
See, my name is Lucy. I'm your dog.
He breaks
Mother, you can live at
so
the
he can say his
mall.
work.
I can see the evil. I can tell it. I know it's illegal. I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero. Thinking of my partner. Put the candy painting on a Rico. Digging in my pocket. And a profit. Big enough to feed you every day. My logic. Get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. Ah!
Again.
I don't talk about it. Be about it. Every day I see you. If I got
And the reason why I added these saxophones right here is just to make it where it's just not just hits. It's like you feel like it's kind of growing as well. It's like it's movement, you know? There's movement to it. So here's like, if I didn't put that saxophone thing in there, it would be more like this.
I can see the evil. I can tell it. I know it's illegal. I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero. Thinking of my partner. Put the candy painting on a Rico. Digging in my pocket. And a profit. Big enough to feed you every day. My logic. Get another dollar just
Which is pretty cool, but when you add the saxophones in with it, it just makes it have some kind of movement.
I can see the evil. I can tell it. I know it's illegal. I don't think about
Harmony,
it.
2 harp harmony, 3, 4 part. It's not only just let me show you that there's how this is expanding. Each like bar, it seems like I'm adding the harmony. So it's like unison, 2-part harmony, 3-part harmony, 4-part harmony. You can hear it in the saxophones. 3, 4. And y'all know this is big band. This is my big band. So y'all know where we're going. For those who've been rocking me for a while, y'all already know where we're about to go. It don't mean a thing. It ain't got that swing. Listen to this. This is how we flip this. It goes back and forth between swinging and the funk part.
If I got it, you know you got it. Heaven, I can reach you. Pet dog, my dog, that's all. Big back and chat, I trap the back for y'all. I rap, I'm black on tracks, so rest assured. My rights, my wrongs, I'm right till I'm right with God. You know, we've been down before. When I ride with law, looking at the world like where do we go? And we hate po-po, wanna kill us dead in the street for sure.
Hey.
I'm at the beach just door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow.
One thing I want to point out is it's great to learn the instruments and what they feel, sound like. And what I mean by this, in this portion right here, this little back end before we get to the chorus, I wanted to feel some kind of suspension, some kind of floating. And I used the drums, and in particular, I used the cymbals of the drums. A lot of times you could just, like with this thing, you can just crash with all the hits that's happening. But what I wanted to do was just like, okay, let me feel some kind of emotion with it. And I use some of the cymbal swells without the kick. So sometimes they will and hit the kick. So it's kind of like a hard period. But this one feels like it's a letting go. So this is what I mean by that. Crash, cymbal swell. No kick, see? And then you have the period at the end. So it just felt like we were floating for just a second. Here's with the vocals.
We hate po-po, wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow. But
Hey, be alright. Hey.
We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And one more time, instead of it being Kendrick, somebody else, whoever singing this vocal, inspired me to do this next part. So we have like a little scene change that's about to happen where it goes kind of somewhere else momentarily. See how like even the vocals, they change.
All right, do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be all right.
I keep my head up high, I cross my heart and hope to die.
So it has like this different kind of sway vibe, and I just wanted to tap into that with the arrangement. So I did this. One thing that you gotta hear is what's going on all these horns. You can't really hear a lot of the stuff that's going on, so I'm gonna just solo them in this back section. Here's the trombones. They give us this attitude. Attitude. Uh, 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 uh. Here's the what the saxophones are playing. It could have easily just been at that very end, just played all the chord, everybody come together, but just that little fanning technique that we're doing just allows it to just feel like it's crescendoing and growing to wherever we're trying to grow it to. So here's last the trumpets. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I can't even lie to y'all. I don't know how I came up with this part. Like, I don't know the logic, what I did behind it. Just listen to it. And then this part right here. What? Huh? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was trying to feel a vibe, especially on this first part. Just like together. But as I look at it, it's this cool thing visually. So you can look at it visually. It's kind of cool because you have these 4 trumpet players, and they're all playing the single line. Then they go to 2 on 2, like 2 play the high line, 2 play the bottom. Then they come back kind of together for 1, and then there's 4-part harmony, which says to me that you don't always have to have 4-part harmony always going on. Sometimes you can experiment with 2-part, 3-part, and then expand the 4-part harmony. The same thing happened on this back end. You can see right here, where it's like, okay, it's everybody's on the same thing. 2-part harmony, 2-part harmony. Okay, then we get the 4-part, and then we end with the, I think it's unison. Yeah, just a unison line. So here it is again, this part, this trumpet part. Yee! Come on now. So let's hear that. Let's hear all that in context, all the horns together. Craziness, right? And this is how it sounds with everything together with it.
Right. I keep running
Hey. And that was the Flip That Hit version of Kendrick Lamar's tune, All Right. I love that we came up with a direction and we stuck with it. That if you're gonna take something away, take that. When you're doing your arrangements, have a direction, have where you want to go, and stick with that. Stick with that vibe. So our word for this particular arrangement was intense, because I feel that Kendrick is like that. He's like, hey, I meant to say this. This is what I want to do. Let's just do it. And from the top of this arrangement to the very last note, that's what we were. We were intense. We went with him. We followed him on all those crazy melodic, rhythmic lines that he was doing. We followed along. So it was great. I learned a lot from doing this arrangement, and I hope you did as well. If there's something that I didn't explain to you in this video, just leave it in the comment. Leave that question in the comment, and I'll answer it and respond to that. And that way you can know exactly what you want to know. But I'll leave you with this. Be more than blessed. Be a blessing.